Welcome to Celeb Corner KE. A story that I'm bringing to you right now is in regards to the rise and fall of a police and the notorious police branch that was called the Special Branch in the CID department, now the Directorate of Criminal Investigation. As of today, it is 72 years since the formation of the Special Branch Police Unit in Kenya. In 1963, after President Jomo Kenyatta took office as the Kenyan president, the Kenyan police structure was retained together with the Special Branch Unit in order to deal with the emerging threats of sessions by Somalia residents from the northern frontier district. With the support of the Somalia, the rising threat against President Jomo Kenyatta waged the shifter war. And that is why Kenyatta retained the police commissioner, Richard Cutling, until December 1964. When Bernard Hinga took over from Cutling, Hinga did not transform the police. He retained the colonial structures and management style. Peter Okola, who was in the initial group that established the special branch during the emergency, was then appointed the CID director. The criminal, he was appointed the CID director. That is like saying he was appointed the boss of the CID right now. While then, a young man by the name of James Kanyotu, who was 28 years of age only, was appointed the special branch director. Now, James Kanyotu remains to be Kenyan most decorated he remains to be one of the most decorated Kenyan intelligence directors. During the Kenyatta days, both of those units would be accused of carrying out assassinations. The unit of CID and that of the special branch. They would be accused of carrying out assassinations and eliminating government critics. The most famous of them all was that of J.M. Kariuki, the flamboyant member of parliament for Nyandarua North, whose death in the year 1975 was blamed on senior police officers and members of the special branch. Now, the Kenyan intelligence officers since 1964 have been signing a document to abide by the Official Secret Act, which makes it a crime to obtain or communicate a code word, plan, articulate, document, or information which is circulated to be or might be or is intended to be directly or indirectly useful to a foreign power or a foreign country to affect our country, which is Kenya. So they sign a contract that binds them to secrecy and their dedication to their country, which is Kenya. In the 1970s, Kenya was run by the Special Branch Unit. James Kanyotu being the director, he was tasked with the job of protecting the president, then Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, against the opposition leaders then led by Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and his own minister Tom Mboya was assassinated by the same special branch as the order was given by the GSU boss Bernard Hinga. Shortly after President Daniel Moi was sworn in October 1978, Attorney General Charles Jonjo surprised Parliament by alleging that there was a killer squad within the Ant Stock Theft Unit, the ASTU police unit, whose mandate was to assassinate some leaders. When Jonjo spoke about Ngoroko, as the unit was known, it was the first time a senior figure was talking about the existence of a killer squad within the government. Remember, right now in our country, we have been speaking about a killer squad that is incorporated within the DCI that was used to either abduct, torture, or make people disappear during the Gen Z demonstrations that took place from June and July this year. Now, shortly after President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi was sworn in, that is when it was recognized that a killer squad was incorporated in the CID then. Now, the special branch was tasked with the job of taming the rising organized crime in Nairobi back in the 70s and 80s. And a police reservist of the special branch, Patrick Shaw, was the center of police brutality on how to deal with crime. It is believed Shaw was a power unto himself, known in Nairobi for engaging with armed gangsters in shootouts and car chases, and for killing those who surrendered. Shaw had in the 70s and 80s become the face of police mighty and alleged in the police force. The same Patrick Shaw is believed to be the man that drove JM Karaoke to his death in 1975, because he was the one that was tasked with intimidating Karaoke and also forcing Karaoke to withdraw his gun, which led to Karaoke being shot and killed by some of the special branch police officers. Now, Shaw had built a network of informers, which we can say he had built spies or confidential informants, which are CIs, including parking boys in Nairobi and prostitutes to stem crime or to tame crime in Nairobi. He was a great consumer of FBI books and manuals, and his Mercedes-Benz KFH 845 was well known by the Nairobians. Those who defied his orders to surrender, like the legendary Kagemi gangster Wakenyonga, would be shot on the spot and killed. Apart from Wakenyonga, Shaw was the greatest nightmare to famous bank robber turned author John Kiriamiti the legend. In 1982, after the coup by the Kenyan Air Force led by Ezekiah Ochoka, President Moi turned to James Kanyontu to improvise the special branch and to make sure that they plant spies in every corner of the country and mostly into the opposition circles to combat any attempt of undermining the presidency. In the basement of Nyayo House, popularly known as the Nyayo torture chambers, and on the 25th floor, the special branch under James Kanyotu, James Opio, with direct orders from James Kanyotu under President Moi, was tasked to extract information from Wakenya suspect by any way possible. Any way possible. Now, anyone who was deemed an enemy of Kanu was thrown into the Nyayo chambers for interrogation. Those arrested included politicians, scholars, activists, university students, lawyers, journalists, civil servants, workers, and peasants. Among those tortured in the Nyayo chambers included former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, who chose to go to jail rather than die in the hands of the special branch. The special branch police unit was involved in sending Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o in exile in America and jailing journalist, activist, camp politician Koigi wa Mwere back in the days. In 1992, a rapid reaction unit known as Flying Squad was formed after the anti-robbery unit and anti-motor vehicle theft unit merger. Apart from its official job to hunt armed and seasoned criminals, activists have been quoted accusing the Flying Squad branch in extrajudicial killings. Now, this branch was also extracted from the special branch. After the exit of President Moi and his friend James Kanyotu, finally left the police force in 1991 after he was popularly accused and mostly accused in the Golden Bag scandal. Now, after Moi left the government in the year 2002 and President Mwai Kibaki took over the presidency, the terror attacks of the AS group, which comes from Somalia, and the Mungiki, Kibaki, who had tried to tame the police brutality, had to take measures to protect the country. And this saw the formation of the Kwekwe Squad. This mostly was triggered by the Mungiki attacks on the police officers. The Mungiki then were attacking police officers who were on patrol and even killing police officers. Now, what triggered the formation of Kwekwe Squad fully is the daring attack of the Mungiki on the home of the former Interior Cabinet Secretary, late Johnny Mishuki. The Kwekwe Squad was tasked by Mishuki to shoot and kill any Mungiki member they came across. And that's when a lot of members from the sect called Mungiki were killed. Many of them. Mishuki said, hakuna kuwashika tena, watauawa wote. Remember those words. Until today, they remain engulfed into the minds of many residents of the Mount Kenya region. After President Uhuru Kenyatta took over the office in the year 2013, he sought to aid the extrajudicial killings. But to curb the terror attacks in Kenya under the DCI, which was previously CID, he made sure that he had come to agreement that he needed to form an anti-terror attack unit, an anti-terror police unit, which was to take the place that was mostly held by the special branch. Now, what I mean is, you know, the special branch is believed to be the one that was converted to the NIS, which is the National Intelligence Service today. But the National Intelligence Service is mostly involved in gathering of information and intelligence. But when it comes to the DCI, which was CID, their job was to combat crime, to deal with criminal activities, to arrest and to track down criminals. Are you getting me? Now, here is what I want you to understand. The difference between the CID and the special branch back in the days was like this. It's like the FBI and the CIA. The Central Intelligence Agency in America is used to gather intelligence and eliminate those that are a threat to the country. Now that was the work of the special branch. When you come to CID, you compare them with the FBI. The FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, their work is to investigate. Their work is to deal with the internal affairs, to make sure that they arrest those small criminals. Now that is how it works, fully. For now, I shall leave it there. I hope you have understood. Now that is the rise and fall of the special branch unit, which is known to be one of the most dreadful police unit to have ever risen in our country, Kenya.